The wind came first, howling low across the plains like a wounded animal, dragging dust and dead grass along the broken fence lines of Caleb Hart's ranch. Evening was settling heavy over the land, painting the sky in bruised shades of purple and blood-red orange. Caleb stood near the corral, one hand resting on the worn post, his eyes fixed on the horizon as if expecting something or someone to rise out of it. He had lived alone too long to believe in surprises. The ranch had once been loud with life, horses stamping, a woman's laughter drifting from the porch, the clatter of supper plates. Now it was quiet in the way only loneliness could make it, thick, suffocating, permanent. The kind of silence that spoke back when you talked to yourself. Caleb was turning to head inside when he heard it. Not a coyote, not the wind, a sound far worse. A cry, thin, broken, desperate, carried on the evening air. Please, please don't. Caleb froze. His hand tightened around the post as his heart kicked hard against his ribs. He hadn't heard a human voice out here in days. Weeks, maybe. And this one wasn't calling for help. It was begging for the end. He grabbed his rifle from where it leaned against the fence, not because he wanted to use it, but because the West had taught him one lesson well: never walk blind into the dark. The cry came again, closer now, from beyond the cottonwood trees near the dry creek bed. Just kill me! The words sliced through him. Caleb moved fast, boots crunching against gravel and dry earth. Each step stirred memories he kept buried, voices crying out, pleading, dying. He swallowed hard and pushed forward anyway. Near the creek he saw her. She was crumpled against a rock, barely more than a shape in the dimming light. Her dress, what was left of it, hung in tatters, stained dark with blood and dirt. Long hair clung to her face, and her hands shook uncontrollably as she tried to crawl backward when she saw him. No, please," she sobbed, raising a trembling arm as if to shield herself. "I won't fight. I swear. Just kill me fast." Caleb stopped dead. He had seen death before. Plenty of it. Been shot over land, women buried too young, children lost to sickness. But never had he seen someone ask for it like this. "I'm not here to hurt you," he said slowly, lowering the rifle and setting it against a tree. "You're safe," she laughed, a hollow, broken sound that didn't belong to a sane person. "Safe," she whispered. "There's no such thing anymore." Up close he could see her better. She was young. Too young for the lines of terror carved into her face. Her eyes were wide and unfocused, as if she was still running from something only she could see. "What happened to you?" Caleb asked quietly. She shook her head violently. "Don't ask. Don't touch me. Don't pretend you're kind," her voice cracked. "Everyone who pretends is worse." That hit him harder than any insult. Caleb crouched slowly, keeping his distance. "I live here," he said, gesturing toward the ranch silhouetted on the hill. "No one else. Haven't been for years." She stared at him, searching his face for lies. "Then why are you still alive?" she whispered. He had no answer for that. A strong gust of wind swept through the trees, making her flinch violently. She wrapped her arms around herself and began to rock, sobbing softly. "Please," she said again, weaker now. "I can't do this anymore. I can't keep breathing. If you're going to do it, just do it." Something inside Caleb broke. Slowly, carefully, he removed his coat and laid it on the ground between them. "You're bleeding," he said. "And you're freezing." She didn't reach for it. "I won't touch you," he added. "But you need to live through the night." She stared at the coat like it was a trap. "Why?" she asked. "Why won't you just finish it?" Caleb looked away, toward the fading light, toward the land that had taken everything from him and still demanded more. "Because," he said quietly, "once, a long time ago, I begged someone to save a life, and they didn't." Her breathing slowed just a little. He stood, offering his hand, but not moving closer. "Come with me," he said. "If you still want to die tomorrow, I won't stop you." That promise shocked her more than cruelty ever could. After a long, trembling moment, she crawled forward and took the coat. And for the first time since she'd been found, she cried, not in terror but in confusion. High above them, the last light of day disappeared, and the west held its breath. Night settled over the ranch like a heavy confession. Caleb Hart walked ahead with a lantern held low, its soft yellow glow cutting a narrow path through the dark. He moved slowly on purpose, not wanting to frighten the girl behind him. Every few steps he paused, listening, not just for danger, but for the sound of her still following. She did. Barefoot, trembling, wrapped in his coat as if it were the last solid thing in the world. She staggered along like someone walking through a dream they desperately wanted to wake from. Every sound made her flinch. Every shadow looked like it might reach out and grab her. When the ranch house finally appeared, she stopped. "No," she whispered. Caleb turned. "What is it?" "Houses mean people," she said. "People mean pain." "This one doesn't," he replied quietly. "Just me and ghosts." That made her look up. He opened the door and stepped aside, never touching her, never rushing her. The smell of old wood, leather, and fading smoke drifted out. Inside, the house was simple, clean but worn. A table with 2 chairs, a cold fireplace, no pictures on the walls. Nothing that suggested happiness had lived here for a long time. She stepped inside like someone entering a grave. Caleb set the lantern down and moved to the stove. "Sit," he said gently. "You're hurt." "I don't want medicine," she snapped suddenly, panic flashing in her eyes. "I don't want to be fixed." "I'm not fixing you," he said. "I'm keeping you alive." There was a difference, even if she didn't believe it yet. When she finally sat, the weight of exhaustion hit her all at once. Her body sagged, and for a terrifying moment, Caleb thought she might collapse completely. He stayed where he was, though, kept his promise. From a distance, he heated water and tore strips from an old clean shirt. "You got a name?" he asked. She hesitated. Eliza." The way she said it, like she wasn't sure it still belonged to her, told him everything. "Well, Eliza," Caleb said, placing the supplies on the table and stepping back. "You can clean yourself if you want, or not. Your choice." Choice. The word made her hands shake. For a long time, she just stared at the water. Then slowly, like someone relearning how to be human, she dipped the cloth and touched it to her arm. She hissed in pain but didn't stop. Caleb turned away, giving her privacy. His eyes landed on the empty chair across from her, the one his wife used to sit in. That chair hadn't been used in 3 years. Behind him, Eliza suddenly spoke. "They took turns," she said flatly. Caleb's jaw tightened. "There were 6 of them," she continued, her voice distant, almost calm. "Said I owed them for food, for protection, for breathing." She laughed bitterly. "Funny thing is, after a while you stop feeling like a person at all." Caleb closed his eyes. "They killed my brother when he tried to stop them," she whispered. "Shot him like a dog, made me watch." Her breath hitched, but she didn't cry. "I prayed to die every night," she said. "And when it didn't happen, I started begging." Caleb turned back to her then, his face pale and rigid with rage he hadn't allowed himself to feel in years. "You're safe here," he said, and this time his voice wasn't gentle. It was iron. "No one touches you. No one takes anything from you." She looked at him sharply. "Why?" He hesitated. "Because I failed once," he said. "And I won't again." That night, he gave her his bed and slept on the floor near the door, rifle across his chest. Not because he expected trouble, but because she needed to know. Someone was willing to stand between her and the world. Sometime before dawn, Eliza woke screaming. Caleb was on his feet instantly, backing away, hands raised. "It's all right," he said. "You're here." "You're alive." She looked around wildly, then broke down, sobbing into her hands. "I didn't die," she whispered. "I tried so hard, but I didn't." Caleb knelt across the room. "Then maybe," he said quietly, "you're still here for a reason." She stared at him through tears. "What kind of cruel reason keeps someone alive like me?" He had no answer. Morning came slow and pale. Eliza sat on the porch, wrapped in a blanket, watching the sun rise, like she didn't trust it. Caleb handed her a tin cup of coffee. "Drink," he said. "It'll warm you." She took it. Another choice. Down in the valley, dust rose on the horizon. Caleb saw it first. Riders. 6 of them. Eliza followed his gaze and froze. Her cup slipped from her hands, spilling dark liquid onto the wood. "They found me," she whispered. "Please, don't let them take me back." Caleb stood. "They won't," he said simply. He walked into the house, grabbed his rifle, and came back out. The loneliness that had clung to him for years lifted, not replaced by fear, but by purpose. For the first time since his wife was buried in the ground behind the cottonwoods, Caleb Hart was ready to fight again. And Eliza, shaking and terrified, realized something that shocked her more than cruelty ever had. This man wasn't saving her because he was kind. He was saving her because he needed redemption as badly as she needed mercy. If this story has you holding your breath, don't forget to subscribe, because the next chapter reveals whether mercy can survive violence, or if the past will finally claim them both.